Hello, hello, beautiful soul. It has been quite some time that I have created a video on this channel. And for those of you that are new, I want to welcome you to Sacredness Within You. And for those of you that have been following me for a while and have noticed that I haven't created a video in a long time, I want to take some time before I get into this week's topic and talk about why. Because I think it's really important for those who are part of my community to understand some of the things that we go through as humans, but excuse me, as business owners and as healers and mentors. And for me, being transparent about some things in my life is very, very important to those of you that are part of my community. So, at one point in time, when I had started my business, which is holistic being, and sacredness within you is just one aspect in terms of how I am serving humanity. And I'm actually in the process of allowing um, dynamic spirit healing to evolve, which is going to be a separate channel for just for energy healing. And I realized I was taking on too many things at one time because I think I have to have all my hands in all these different things. It was based on me trying to prove myself and, and my worthiness of things, but I also recognized too that my inner child was like enough. She felt really overwhelmed by all that I was trying to do and build from my ego versus my heart and my soul. And one of the things that I do quite often is when I feel something new coming in, whether it's a service that I'm going to provide for those of you that are in my community or a new project, related to my business, I think I have to take action on it right away. And you don't. This is a reminder for those of you as well that feel things coming in. We have to let things birth and let things process and build before we take action in those things. And, I'm in human design, I am a projector. And then in astrology, I am an Aries, and those two things don't always go hand in hand very well. It's challenging sometimes to navigate being a projector that is an Aries because, that fiery part of me loves to take action and loves to do the work and move forward in my life. Where the projector is like, no, we have to slow down. We have to allow things to birth. We're here to lead and guide others. And the timing of when we serve and how we serve is really important. And so I'm learning these parts of me and it's calling me to go deeper and deeper. So one of the things that I really felt I needed to do was just to stop creating videos for sacredness within you and really realize that I needed to dedicate this space 100% in regards to serving those who are feminines on the twin flame journey. And for those of you that are interested in just the healing part of it, to then be able to connect with me in dynamic spirit healing. And I have created a channel. It's there because I'm allowing that to be there and to allow that space and energy to become more open and to land in the YouTube space. And also to I'll be creating a TikTok and an Instagram as well. And so for those of you that feel really connected to the healing work that I do, then I encourage you to connect there. I do not know um, when that will be taking effect. I am trying to be just really patient and allow things to come forward and to allow myself to create this really great foundation in terms of energy work and healing for those of you that are going to be part of that community. And so now, moving forward, my plan is to be able to do a few videos a month for those of you that are on the twin flame journey to help support you, but also to do a couple healing sessions to support those videos that I am doing because as a feminine who is on my twin flame journey, utilizing inner work and doing energy healing has helped me transform my reality. And I just felt like I wanted to be able to share that with all of you and to say that I'm here still. There's other platforms like Instagram and TikTok that you can also connect with me on. Same handle as I have here on YouTube. And so in regards to the twin flame journey, I today want to focus on talking about the purpose of the twin flame journey. And I feel really called to dive into this again and talk about this and to bring some reminders to the feminines because I feel a little bit some feminines are struggling and others are allowing this journey and their beloved to be a distraction from them. And there's also things happening within the collective that is bringing some, shining some light onto some things. And so, for those of you that are new, I want to introduce myself. My name is Melissa, and this is Sacredness Within You, a page dedicated to supporting feminines from the twin flame journey. And I am a twin flame mentor. I'm a spiritual coach, mentor, teacher, and I am also an energy healer. I utilize Reiki along with multidimensional energy clearing techniques to help support you in transmuting energies that are no longer serving you. And when I originally created this space, I thought I would be utilizing it to serve feminines, those that are their primary energy is feminine energy, to help support you in embodying that feminine energy. But I really realized I needed to niche down because I knew that there was a smaller collective of people who really needed to hear what it is that I have to share. Because the projector in me, the 3-5, loves, and I mean loves to take the long way. And it's on this path that I really get to learn about things of what works and what doesn't work. I literally have viewed life my whole entire life as an experiment. Like, what if I do this or what if I do that? And these things in terms of what if I do this or what if I do that come from my intuitive knowing. Because it's on this path as I'm experimenting with life, I get to gain knowledge and I get to then start applying it to my life where I get to create these changes and share with you all the wisdom that I have gained from those experiences. And we're at a point in humanity, in our evolution and in our consciousness, where many of you are no longer being called to learn things the hard way or to take a long way to get to where it is that you are going, because some of that has been conditioning. Some of you, like me, if you have the 3 part in your human design, that is your path, unfortunately. However, I've learned too on my path that when I have like learned these shortcuts and gain this wisdom to like propel my journey forward, that I have to honor that. Like I have to continue taking that wisdom that that I gain and apply it to my life, because I get into this trap sometimes of like, oh, I need to go the long way to get to there. And I don't. I can take a shortcut, just like you can as well. And really, many of you are being called to do that, and there's a part of you that is really resisting. And that's okay, because I get it. I resisted a lot on my journey, and quite honestly, it is what has created delays in me aligning to my authenticity, aligning to the version of me that is already, in union, has a successful business, serving people in multiple ways, right? I created that delay. Not my beloved, not God, not anyone else. It was me. And I had to take responsibility in that, because we are responsible for what it is that we have created. So I want to talk about today the purpose of the twin flame journey because I think a lot of us lose focus of that, and it can be really easy to get wrapped up in this journey. It can be all consuming. It can be part of our identity. We can have this attachment to this label of like, this is who I am. This is what I'm here to do. And I will never forget when I heard in a healing session that I was doing with, I was actually a program I was doing with Jill and Rami, who are two twin flames that I connected with to help me get back on track and to come into alignment with my path and how I was meant to navigate my journey. And I feel like those of you that I resonate with, I am that person for you because most likely, if you're drawn to my videos, you might feel lost, you might be overwhelmed or confused. Or perhaps you're really open to navigating this journey in a different way because you're recognizing that you're caught up in patterns and cycles that are no longer serving you, but you can't always see your way out. Which is why I really believe, whether you are on the twin flame journey or not, that working with a coach or a healer or being part of a program to support you is essential. Because I remember when I started investing in myself, in my healing, in my twin flame journey, in my business, and everything started to shift. And the more that you can do that, the easier this journey is going to be because as coaches and healers, we can see the things that you can't see because the emotional attachment that you have to the experience that you are having. The attachment of needing things to happen a certain way and the expectation of outcomes being a specific way. And as a coach and a healer and a mentor, I don't have any attachment. The only thing that I want to do is to be able to help you to get on the other side of whatever it is that you are experiencing. Because when you can move through that, identify the root cause of something, you create so much freedom within you. And then not only that, you are then accelerating and expanding your consciousness. So I want to remind you that your twin flame journey is how you decided to experience your spiritual awakening. This dynamic is meant to be an acceleration of your spiritual awakening. And I honestly never got that memo. Never. In the first 3 years of my journey, I never got that memo. I didn't get it until I connected with Jill and Rami. And I thought to myself, oh my gosh, yes. Because prior to that, I had recognized that there were other friends in my reality who started awakening after me. And they had passed me up. And I thought to myself, how is this possible? This doesn't make sense. What is it that I can't see? What am I doing wrong? And that's when I was open to receiving that message of like, this is meant to be an acceleration of your spiritual awakening. Because when we look at it, we understand that a spiritual awakening, we are letting go of whatever is no longer serving us, right? And aligning to our authenticity and waking up to how powerful we are. And really the list goes on. And in a normal spiritual awakening, when somebody's on the twin flame journey, is that in order to gain access to these parts of themselves, they have to look at their 3D reality to gain access, along with understanding things in an intuitive sense. On the twin flame journey, for those of you that are on this journey, we get an added bonus, which is another person who is us, mirroring back to us all these things that we're unable to see about ourselves. So it's a gift, right? Not everybody gets that gift. And instead of focusing on our spiritual awakening and on our healing, many feminines get distracted by this journey. They get distracted by their masculine. And I want to talk about how some of these things show up because I didn't recognize these until like years down the road. And what I mean by we get distracted by the twin flame journey is we start identifying with the label twin flame. And that's all we think that we are. And we start thinking everything that we're experiencing is about this connection. But it's not. It's simply part of who we are. It shouldn't be part of your identity. It's just part of who you are. And we can get caught up going down the rabbit hole, right? I read a comment on my one of my recent posts on TikTok, and they were like, "Yeah, I never felt called going down to that rabbit hole because I felt like it was the darkest like rabbit hole I would ever go down." And it's true because we start then seeking outside of ourselves, and we can get caught up in the limiting beliefs within the collective. We can get caught up in the false teachings that are out there. And not only that, we can get connected to some that aren't even twin flames at all, but claiming that they are, and we start buying into their teachings. And if you have found this in yourself in this place, it's okay because there's reasons why everything serves a purpose, and that's okay. But you can always choose differently at any point in time in your journey. And the other thing too is I see many feminines, and I was this way as well. This is how I can see these things is distracted by what the masculine is doing. Who is he with? Who is he texting? Why isn't he texting me? Why is he not choosing me? What are his lessons? Is he learning his lessons? Oh, I can see that this is his lesson. This is what he needs to do. I'm just using he to identify the energy of the masculine, not identifying gender. It's just easier. And instead, the feminine needs to shift her focus onto, okay, I can see that this is happening within my masculine's world. What is this here to teach me about me? How am I doing the same? Why am I being triggered by this? Sitting with those emotions, exploring what it's here to teach me about me. You're not here to figure out what his journey is because the masculine has his own journey. And we have to be able to honor that, even if it doesn't look like it's something that we think he should be doing. Because if you were to really take a step back, most likely your masculine has given you the space to be able to navigate this journey in the way that you feel really aligned. He's not breathing down your neck, wondering why you're doing this, telling you what it is that you should do. He's giving you that space to learn. Now, as feminines, we need to be able to do the same for them and to trust in them and what it is that they're doing is right for them, even if we don't think so. So, I want to talk about a few purposes of the twin flame journey. We already talked about it being the spiritual awakening for a lot of us. It's how we are meant to navigate our spiritual awakening, and this journey is meant to be an acceleration. But also, too, this is a deep experience for us. It's an opportunity for us to heal and grow. For those of you that say that you're in separation, this is what I call this phase is healing and growth. I call it like the phase of exploration of me getting to know me, because this journey is helping us see the things where we've been living out of alignment with our feminine energy, living out of alignment with our masculine energy, and really living life separately in terms of our energies within us. But not only that, we've been living separately from God. Many of us have very limiting beliefs about God and how God supports us or doesn't support us. And some of this is the conditioning that we have experienced in this life, but also things that we've experienced in past lives. We have to remember as human beings that we carry things in from past lives because we're here to finally let go of those patterns, let go of those beliefs, heal those wounds as well. And the twin flame journey in itself, we have a very critical role that we play. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that I'm diminishing anything else in terms of the roles that others play, because I really truly feel like everyone walking this planet plays a critical role in the evolution of the consciousness of our planet. We all just have different jobs in how we do that. So for us twin flames, we're here to anchor in codes of unconditional love. We're here to clear templates in regards to relationships that are no longer serving humanity. We're here to clear templates in regards to how women and men, navigate this life. We're here to clear karma, for humanity. And a lot of us are here to be spiritual leaders, to help rebuild and create the new paradigm in how we are going to navigate and live life as humans. And so we're here to like clear away a lot of this stuff in order to help others have an easier time moving through the things that we are experiencing. Because as twin flames, we are way showers. We go through things first. If you ever looked back on your life, you realize that you probably were the first to experience almost anything in your family. And a lot of that is because you are the way shower in your family, in your lineage. You're the way shower within the collective. Like I look at, in regards to the different waves of twin flames, I'm in the second wave. All the work that the first wave, the second wave, and the third wave have been doing, which is a lot, is making it easier for those that are in the fourth wave to come into this journey and experience it in a very different way than we have. This experience of where it's full of ease. They have clarity around what it is that they should be doing. They're listening to their intuition and receiving guidance and support when they're feeling called to. And that's because of the work that these other three waves did. And so we have different roles and responsibilities that we carry. And a lot of us are also transmuters of negative energy. And we are strategically placed and live in certain areas of the world, of your country, to help transmute negative energies. Like where I live right now, it is actually not far from where things with George Floyd happened. And it turned this city upside down amongst, the country as well. And where I live, there was a lot of protests and stuff like that. And so there's a lot of like negative energy here. I knew I was strategically placed here to help transmute that energy, because we serve humanity and from a bodhisattva, like doing something for the higher good of all. And I know some of you may not even know how you transmute energy or know what that means, but it's okay, because a lot of you just do it automatically without even knowing. And we have, as twins individually and also too within our dynamic, there are purposes. There's a soul purpose and mission in terms of how we are here to serve. And that even is described and laid out within each wave. Like the wave that I am in, we're the bridge of helping others understand where it is that we are and what it is that we must do to get to where it is that we are. And a lot of us are coaches for those that are twin flames and healers, and helping you get to where it is that you're wanting to go in a much easier, faster way, because we've had to many times take the long way. So don't worry about what your mission or purpose is in this lifetime. Some of you may know, because you've been preparing this whole life for it. You've been preparing for it for lifetimes. and it will come to you when you are ready. So I want to talk about some of the roles that we play as feminines in the connection, but also too in humanity. We're here to embody divine love and compassion. And one of the first ways that we get to learn how to do this is through our connection with our beloved. And it's easier to show them that compassion and love than it is to ourselves. And it's through this journey we get to learn how to provide that understanding, that compassion and love for ourselves, but also too for humanity as well. We are really the catalyst for the awakening within our dynamic. We typically are doing more healing and more transformation than the masculine. And it's designed that way because we tend to be the more spiritual, the more intuitive twin. And the way that I have seen it and the way it's been taught it to me is that in this lifetime, you might be the more intuitive twin, the more spiritual, the more one that's doing more of the healing. And maybe in the previous lifetime, your beloved was doing that. And you were the matrix twin running off and being part of the matrix. And it's designed that way for a reason. We flip flop and we switch through certain roles lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. And it's not about keeping score. It's not about, well, he's doing this while I'm doing that. Remember, he is serving in the way and doing what it is that he's meant to do, which is to focus on the 3D and how your masculine moves through the 3D based on the things that he's doing and the beliefs that he has are based on your subconscious programming. And your subconscious programming is saying, hey, beloved, I need you to show up in this way in order for me to access this part of me. And a lot of times I see feminines get caught up in this anger and this blame and resentment because it seems like their beloved is out having fun with the karmic or living his life traveling the world or, creating success, whatever that looks like for your twin, right? But that's here to help serve you because we can get caught up in looking at what is it that our masculine is here to show us in regard to what it is that we're doing wrong or what it is that we're here to fix. Remember, there's nothing wrong with you. You are not a project. There's nothing that you need to fix about you. All you have to do is let go of the things that are keeping you out of alignment, keeping you from being your authentic self, keeping you from aligning to the version of you that is already in union or already in mission, wherever it is that you're wanting to move to next in your journey. And also, too, our beloved, as we know, is a mirror to ourselves. But also, there's other ways that they're here to teach us because they're here to teach us that we are capable and what's the other word that I want to use? We're just going to use capable of achieving the same thing. So if you're wanting to travel the world, travel the world. Do the work that you need to do to be able to afford that and create the lifestyle that you want to, or create a lifestyle that allows you to do that. If you see that your beloved is happy, it's just a reminder that you have the ability to be happy as well. So lean into what it is that your beloved is showing you. As the feminines, remember, feminine energy is very receptive. We have to be able to get into this energy of receptivity because many of us have been conditioned to chase and push out towards whatever it is that we want. And through our healing and the building of our trust in ourselves, faith in ourselves and God, and upgrading our self-worth and our self-concept, we begin to understand that we get to magnetize and attract whatever it is that we desire in our life. We also are space holders for others, for our beloved, and for union. We have to be able to hold space for that to occur because part of the masculine's role is to anchor in union energy. Remember, masculine energy is very grounded. It's that provider, it protects, it leads, right? And it provides the structure for the feminine. And, not only do we get to bring healing to ourselves, we also get to bring healing to the masculine. And we allow and help support the masculine in the journey that they are going through. We also are the ones that manifest union. And oftentimes I see feminines want to manifest union before they've done all the work that we're needing to do in order for us to be able to manifest that. Because if you have limiting beliefs, subconscious programming, emotional and energetic blocks that are preventing union, no amount of manifestation is going to, no amount of work that you do in terms of manifesting is going to make that happen, because subconsciously you are blocking it. And you will be guided to when your soul says, yes, it's time to start manifesting. And you will know, because it'll be about the same time when you're starting to be able to hold space for union. Because remember, when we're wanting to usher in and invite in manifestations, we have to be in receptive energy. We have to create space for that. So let's talk about some of the roles in the masculine. And remember, you can also utilize this in terms of understanding, your inner feminine and your inner masculine to help you navigate your inner world as well. Because oftentimes when we talk about things about the feminine and the masculine, people just look at it as the dynamic of the twin flames. The feminine is doing this, the masculine is doing this, but we also have both energies within us. So the masculine is a catalyst for action and growth. When you think about, for many of you, and this is not the case for everyone, your twin flame was your catalyst to your spiritual awakening, right? Like they were the ones that activated that within you. And you started being able to experience your healing and your growth as well. But also, too, they're the ones that are moving things forward in the connection, in the journey. And they're the ones that are navigating this for us. I'll never forget, it was like 4 years ago, maybe I was sitting at the bus stop, and people are always saying that the feminine is always leading the way. And I didn't really believe that. It never really resonated with me. And then I received a download at the bus stop, waiting for the bus, of saying, no, the masculine is leading the connection. He leads the connection through the 3D world and what it is that he is experiencing. Because it's through these 3D things that it triggers the feminine to go deeper into her healing. And we can get confused in thinking that we're leading the connection. The part that we're leading is the healing. They're leading the connection to where it is that we need to go. They're leading the connection forward in terms of what it is that we need to do as a team to get to where it is that we want to go. And they, remember, when they're unawakened, they're navigating this from a very unconscious state. They're not aware that they are leading us. They're not aware that what it is that they're doing is helping us grow. We have to remember too that the masculine has their own journey. I cannot say this enough, because I tried intervening, and I remember at one point in time, before I knew this was many years ago, that you can't force anyone to awaken. They will awaken at their own time. And literally, the masculine knows when to awaken. You have to get to a certain point in your journey before they even start to awaken. And the amount of work that they do is like compacted into a short amount of time. And they do this work in a very different way than us feminines do. We have to be able to honor that, because, within the connection, whether you see this or not, they are the provider. They are the protector. Many of you think when your beloved isn't reaching out to you or talking to you or connecting with you that you've done something wrong or they don't want to be with you, oftentimes they're protecting you from that version that they are because they know that you are worthy of someone better, worthy of someone who honors you and sees you in the light that you are. And where they're at in their journey, they can't always be that version that you deserve. And that's okay. But also, too, they're protecting you from things that are happening, within their journey, because there's just some things that we don't need to know. We don't deserve to know, because if you take the twin flame label off, at the end of the day, most of you are just acquaintances for your beloved. Same thing with them and you. So they drive the transformation within us and within the connection. So this is going to mean that facing deep fears, past traumas, whether this life or previous lives, but also too, when the masculine starts awakening, this transformation, like I was talking about, is very fast. And oftentimes too, it can be a whirlwind for the feminine, because remember, this is a very energetic dynamic as well. And when your masculine is awakening and they're going through their journey, it's also an acceleration for you. Because one of the things that I see within the collective is the feminines think that they're farther along in their journey than they really are. And I used to be that same way. But what I realized was I wasn't doing enough work, meaning I wasn't getting to the root cause of my stuff. I would scratch the surface and then it would shift things and it would feel like, oh, okay, I'm out of that. But I never got to the root cause. So the masculine is going to keep pushing you and pushing you and pushing you to heal those parts of you. And when they know when it's their time, man, it comes to crunch time, because they're doing the work that they need to do and moving the journey, the connection to union. They help balance out the feminine energy, not only within them, but also too within us. And they are going to help lead you to your mission and how you are here to serve. But not only that, they're going to help you lead you back to having the connection and the relationship that you are meant to have with God. Because many of you, the yearning that you have for your beloved, yes, is about this incredible connection, right? But that yearning that you have for them is also about yearning for the relationship that you want at the level of the soul with God. And if you've ever felt like, oh, I'm just tired of this, I want to go back home, or you're just feeling like you're needing to go back home, it's because you're being called to connect to God, connect to that energy, receive that energy, receive the guidance and support that God is wanting to provide for you. Because the way that I look at it is, we are a God spark. We have broken off from that overarching energy as a creator, and we broke off of that energy as a soul, and we get to incarnate into various lifetimes. And so allow your beloved to play the role that they are meant to play in your journey. Because remember, there are certain things that we are meant to experience together on our twin flame journey and separate. We have contracts with our beloved, we have contracts with other souls to help us move forward in our journey. Sorry, and I'm just looking at my notes, seeing if there's anything that I want to talk more about. Because I took part of this from a masterclass that I did in Circle, which is my monthly membership that I offer for feminines who are on the twin flame journey. It's really a portal of healing and transformation. And it has a growing library of tools and resources to help support you overcome these challenges and obstacles that we face in our twin flame connection and journey. And it's an opportunity for you to receive cheat codes to overcoming those things and to help you move through these things with ease, clarity, and the confidence that you want to have. And every month we have a live masterclass. It's anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half long, overcoming some of these obstacles. This month in March, I did a masterclass on identifying patterns and cycles, not only within your twin flame connection, but also in your life, and how to properly end these. And there's a lot of stuff that we're moving through this month regarding patterns and cycles. And then each month there's a live group coaching session for the members that are in that space, and then also to a live group healing session as well. And so if that's something that you're feeling that's resonating with you and feeling called to be part of, I will click the link, or I will put down in the description box a link to um, that space. And also too, if you're feeling called to do some one-on-one coaching, I have that available as well. I have my Awaken program, which is a 3 to 6 month program, or I can do one-on-one coaching and healing sessions as you feel called to do so. It's something that I encourage all of you to follow what it is that you're intuitively guided to do. And if you found value in this and are aligning with what it is that I am saying, then please like and subscribe. And thank you for being with me in this video. And I'm really excited to be creating content again on here and to helping you navigate this journey, because it can be really beautiful and it can be very enlightening and full of ease if you are open to it. And my friends, I'm sending you all so much love and light, and can't wait to connect with you in the next video. And until next time.